Hello everybody, I'm Victor with Canine 101 Dog Training. This is Kathy, one of my students. Kathy has Eli with her. We're going to give you a little demonstration on obedience and hope to entertain you at the same time. So the first thing we do is we teach the dog to walk on your left side. Even with you, not ahead of you, not behind you, but even with you. As Kathy changes her pace, the dog changes its pace right with her. And also pay attention to how happy the dog is to do this. That's what's very important here, is how much the dog wants to please the owner. When the dog does this really good, then we start doing the right turns. Kathy's turning away from the dog has to catch up to her. But again, notice how happy the dog is. Okay, when the dog does this really good, she's going to do an about turn, and then we do the left turns. Now Kathy's turning into the dog, and you'll notice the dog moves right out of her way. There's no contact, a loose leash, the dog's happy to be there with her, everything's great. When the dog does that really good, then we do what is called a left about turn. Pretend she's on a sidewalk, she's got to go back in the same direction she just came, but she has to turn towards the dog. The dog has to move out of her way, and again with no contact. When the dog does that really good, then we do what is called the U-turn. She turns towards the dog, and the dog goes around her on the outside. We're going to go ahead and do that one more time, and then she's going to go ahead and stop. And now that the dog is walking next to us, not tripping Kathy, staying with her, staying even with her, she's the leader. Now we want the dog to stay by itself. So she's going to tell the dog to stay, she's going to step away from the dog. And actually you didn't hear her say anything because the way she told her dog to stay is she started with her right foot, not her left foot. We're going to show you how well that works. She's going to want her dog to go with her this time, so she's going to start with her left foot. She's going to do an about turn, and when she comes to stop, the left foot's the last one to stop to tell the dog to sit. And now without saying a word, she's going to start with her right foot and her dog is going to stay. Now she's going to go back to her dog. And now that the dog is not tripping her and staying when it should, now we want the dog to make sure it doesn't trip anybody else. So Kathy's going to start walking. I'm on the sidewalk. I'm going to be in her way. As she walks, she's going to start to pass me. And once she realizes she can't continue, she's going to back up and go around me, and you're going to see the dog is going to stay right with her. This time she's going to come from the other direction. She's going to drop all the leash except the very end, so you do see that it's the dog's choice to stay with her. He might smell me as he walks by. So now that we have the dog not tripping Kathy, not tripping anybody else, now she's going to go ahead and stop. And now we want the dog to always be in perfect position. So she's going to do a quarter turn to her right and tell the dog to get back into position. Now she's going to do a quarter turn to her left and tell her dog to get back into position. She's going to do another quarter turn to the left and tell her dog to get into position. And now she can circle to the left. She's going to go ahead and stop. She's going to tell her dog to stand. And now she can sidestep to the right and her dog will go right with her. Now walking forward again, her dog's going, "Look how good I'm doing, Mom, look how good I'm doing." And she goes, "Well, can you back up?" He goes, "Yeah, I can back up." "Well, can you down when you're backing up?" "I can do that too." Now walking forward again. She's going to do an about turn. She's going to down her dog as she keeps walking. She's going to call her dog to her. She's going to have her dog go around her and back into position. And pay attention to how loose the leash is. The dog isn't dragging her and she's not dragging the dog. She's going to walk forward again. She's going to do an about turn. This time she's going to have her dog sit as she keeps walking. Now she's going to be able to circle all the way around her dog. She's going to walk past her dog. And then this time when she walks past her dog, she's going to get out to the end of the leash and then she's going to tell her dog to heel and catch up. She's going to do an about turn. This time she's going to tell her dog to stay in a standing position as she keeps walking. Now she's going to go behind her dog. She's going to tell her dog to sit. She's going to tell her dog to down. She's going to call her dog to her. Now this time, instead of having her dog go around her and into position, she's just going to have her dog back up and get into position. Walking forward again. She's going to do an about turn. Pretend she's on the hills up somewhere, she's hiking, and she's going to do one more about turn. And the road is too narrow for the dog to be next to her, So she's going to have her dog follow her. Now back into position. All right, now let's say she's back in town and she needs some money, and right in front of her is an ATM machine. And I'm that shady character behind her making her feel uncomfortable. Now she has somebody watching her back. All right, she's got her money. She's going to turn around and get ready to walk down the sidewalk. And now she's walking down the sidewalk. I'm still that shady character, and she's still got somebody watching her back. Now pay attention here. She can have that dog turn, walking backwards, and the dog is still paying attention to the other dog that's running by, and the dog is walking backwards. Do that one more time, Kathy. She can have her dog turn as she's walking backwards and guide where that dog is going. Back into position. And now this is Kathy and Eli's way of saying thank you very much for watching our demonstration. Do your bow. There you go, Eli. All right, Eli. Okay. And now I want you to, if you noticed, even though that other dog came running by, even though there was all those other distractions going on, Eli still did everything Kathy wanted Eli to do, even though he was focused on the other things also. The bottom line is she's the boss. What she says is everything. And that's why he does so well. Thank you very much.